Science is not only about bubbling chemicals and electricity. And this year's SciFest exposed visitors to something different: their skin. US Professor Nina Jablonski came to talk about our largest organ and its socio-political implications.
We find darkly pigmented skin predominantly in equatorial latitudes where ultraviolet radiation from the sun is very intense year-round. And we find more lightly pigmented skin occurring in peoples that live closer to the poles. In between, in the middle latitudes, we find people who are very good at developing a tan in response to seasonal peaks in ultraviolet radiation.
Tanning is one of the methods Jablonski mentions as a means of adjusting skin tone. But Dr. Lester Davids from the University of Cape Town warns of the dangers.
Fairer people tend to overdo it in the sun. They tend to burn. It could lead to, with chronic sun exposure, could lead to skin cancer.
The risks are just as high for those using skin whitening products in order to look lighter.
They can actually be terrible for your skin because they not only bleach, but they also burn your skin. And it leads to all sorts of dermatological problems.
Apart from tanning and bleaching, Jablonski talked about decorating and piercing skin to create an identity. One enthusiast explained the motivation for his tattoos.
Seeking identity, rite of passage, using your body as a text, and amongst people your same age and subculture.
What they are seeking is an indelible mark that records an important past experience or feeling. So something that they can look at and that other people can look at and say, oh, I know something about that person. I know what they've experienced. That shark that they have tattooed on their leg or the cross that they have on their arm, it tells me about what's important to them or what was an experience they had that was important in their life.
So what's the obsession with changing our skin? Why has it come to mean so much in society?
We find darkly pigmented people who often want to attain light pigmentation, and lightly pigmented people who often want to attain dark pigmentation. And what is interesting is that these two seemingly diametrically opposed phenomena are in fact related. They're unified by a single social theme, which is attaining a color that is associated with privilege. So we live in now what is quite a crazy world where people with different skin colors want to attain just the opposite of what they have, but the motivation is very similar.
In post-1994 South Africa, have we got over our obsession with skin color and race? We asked some of SciFest visitors to explain their views on skin color.
God gave us the skin color? We don't know.
Pigmentations inside your actual bodies and stuff.
There is no equation between race and any scientifically based entity, and it's very important that people understand that. Love the skin you're in.
Jablonski's lectures were not only informative, but also helpful in overcoming the legacies of our past, as people today continue to form part of their identities via their skin.